I'm going to talk about healing today, and we're going to talk about something that is. There we go. Someone typed in. Nice. Sound is good. Awesome, Amber. Thank you. So while I'm playing this bowl, I just want you to let in this concept that healing isn't what we've been told it is, and I would assume that since Facebook has been shutting down my advertising and doing all sorts of things, I must be getting pretty close to a truth. And one of the elements that we're sort of going to be faced with over the next few years, hopefully, over the next 5 or 10 years, is the reality that that healing at the body and mind level, that when we're trying to heal at the body level, and we're trying to mechanically change things in the body, there's no question that that there are some strategies for that. There's some things that really work. I mean, when you've got an illness that's made it all the way to the first chakra, sometimes you need first chakra healing work. And but at the body, or you've got a mental, you've got your mind has taken a vacation, and you need some sort of just some basic structure, which is the very first level of healing. And so we're going to be shifting from this idea that we have a broken body that needs to be fixed, and now now the next generation is now we've gotten the chakras and healing work, and so my statement that healing doesn't happen at the body and mind and chakra level, even though they are the recipients of healing, healing isn't actually coming from those levels. Those levels are the levels that get blocked, get broken, get abandoned, have illnesses, get cancer, that's at those levels. So if you picture that, and one of the major changes that I have, that I promote, I work with, I've studied and developed, is that there are really 4 levels of creative force in the world. The body and mind are very unconscious. So, all you have to do is think about, okay, how I'm gonna think myself into healing a wound in my hand, and it's just like, no, because that's all going to happen unconsciously, right? This physical and the mind is just an unconscious repeater machine, and that's where it gets in its big problems, is that it tends to repeat the biggest fears. So illness at the body level and the mind level are very unconscious, reactive types of things, and they truly are what I call in the hurricane of life. Sometimes life is great and you have no idea why, and then other times life is terrible and you have no idea why. And that's the brain and the body. They pretty much, the brain can kind of say, well, maybe I shouldn't have eaten, that whole, a 46-ounce steak, whatever it was, maybe that's why my stomach's upset. But that's about the level that the brain and the body actually can function. And then medicine works on sort of like they work on the mechanics of healing, which is very, very important when you need the mechanics of healing. The second level of that I've discovered is the body and mind. The second level are the chakra level, and I haven't discovered that. That was discovered thousands of years ago, that we have chakras, and recently we are developing this this awareness in our lives, in our consciousness, and even children's videos now, all the ones from Japan, are talking about chakras, and children are understanding that we have these energy centers, and these energy centers have power, and they do these sort of things. But the truth is that even energy centers are, your 7 chakras are really responding to the brain, which is almost always telling it, don't don't protect your heart. Don't be just open in your heart. For God's sake, protect yourself. You know what happened the last time. And so the brain is still running these operations here in the daily interaction. So so the chakras are responding to the world. You're taking action, but you're taking action. You're saying, well, am I, is somebody going to like what I'm doing right here? Am I going to be liked for doing talking about this? I'm telling people that are working with the body and the mind and the chakras that that's not really where healing is. And since I deal with, I run the Reese Thomas Institute of Energy Medicine, I deal with hundreds of people, thousands of people all year that are looking to take their healership to the next level. And so this is what we're talking about here. We're not talking about saying that you don't want to heal the body and you don't want to heal the chakras. You do, but you don't heal the body or the chakras with the body or the chakras. The next levels up, there's 4 levels of your creative force, your creative consciousness in the world. And when you are aware of these next levels, those levels are the levels of mastery. Those are the levels of healing. Those are the levels of power. Those are spiritual soul levels. We call them spiritual, and often that does what they are a great disservice, because spiritual in our language, in our brain and body language, means something etheric and angelly and out of our reach and things like that, where nothing could be further than the truth. What you are in your purpose. So this line, and I've got a little chart here of these 4 levels. So we've got the body, which is the least of most of our focus. Most people live here. 90%, 95% of people live at this level in the world, just totally focused on their body and their problems and the things they have to do and the survival and just getting some sleep and starting the day over again. So there's the body, and that's where where we notice our illnesses, because we've missed all this stuff all the way down, and then finally, so there's no energy in the body and it gets sick. So the next level was, oh my gosh, I've got chakras. So now we have a little more energy here. We're going up one notch and we're going to chakras, and the chakras give us this realization that, okay, so maybe this isn't just a pain in my body. Maybe this is a wounded energy center. Maybe this is a wound that I have around my family, or on my emotions, or emotional elements, or I'm holding back on my voice that doesn't let me express myself, or I have delusional about the world. I'm so sure that this is the way it has to be, and I create these blocks in my energy system, which then limit the energy that can come from the universe, come from people, come from situations, and it can and when you limit the energy in the energy field, well, you limit the energy in the body gets sick. The body, so this is where, and then you realize, oh my God, I have to get healed. And so people have shifted from having a broken body or a broken brain and going to a doctor to fix it, to having a broken chakra and or 2 or 3, or I've got blocks in my chakra. Now people are saying, oh, I think I must have a block in my chakra. And we get that a lot. It's like, I've got a block in my chakra. And the truth is that, yes, that's true. You've got a block in that chakra, but that block in your chakra is actually a disconnect from these other 2 levels, which are this vertical line of energy, which is like a vertical line of, here, I'll put this up a little bit. It's a vertical gravity line within us that the martial artists have trained for thousands of years, because they know that when you align with that line, and that line actually has on it your purpose in life, that you reach a level of mastery. And you, whether you've heard this or not, I've worked for many, many years, so 25 years in just doing Taekwondo, but studying martial arts and all of the masters, and I love that sort of like world of these masters that have reached this level of inner peace, this inner, the inner candle flame that never flickers. And amazingly, all martial arts masters, no matter whether they started out as a tough guy, strong, fighting, they all become healers. And you're like, well, how did they become healers? It's because healing your body, just think about your body, okay? Think about your body and your chakras. They are in the world, right? And they are of the world. right? So your body and your chakras, they're of the world. And the world is just like this hurricane of problems. Just think about it. Just watch the news, and it's just like, oh my God. And the truth is that the world is nothing like the news reports it to be, and nothing. But just that idea that there's so many problems in the world that we have to worry about, and we do, and our brain loves a problem. It's not designed actually to make us happy. It's designed to deal with problems, and it loves a problem. And so the more the news tells you there's a problem, the more there's a problem, and more you're going to be in that hurricane and battling with it and fighting with the world, and it isn't until you get beyond the body and the chakras and realize that these guys don't actually have their own consciousness. Consciousness doesn't come in the world, in your body. Your body, maybe if you didn't have your soul in your body, it would have some rudimentary level of animalistic consciousness, but even the animals that we see running around, little bunnies and squirrels and things, they have a soul consciousness within them. It's more of a group consciousness, but it's a soul consciousness that gives them sort of their purpose in life and that wisdom. They're not even without a soul consciousness. So and of course we know a lot of human beings or some human beings that have managed to totally block that consciousness and live in this sort of animalistic survival, and they take advantage of people and they don't do good in the world for sure, and they create the chaos in the world. But for most of us, we're caught in this realization, and right now, energetically and healing wise, we're caught in this paradigm that your body, your mind gets sick, and you have to go to a doctor or a therapist. Your chakras get sick, and you go to a healer of whatever kind. And every healer does different sets of chakras. Every healing modality, and there's 800 healing modality, 8,000 healing modalities that the board that I'm on is overseeing right now alone. Who knows how many there are in the world, and we haven't even found all of them. Dragged them all out of wherever what jungle or wherever they're in, and these energy healings do open the chakra back up. But that's not what keeps the chakra open, and actually those healers aren't healing from the chakra level. So this is a really important real revelation that I'm offering you here. If you're interested in doing healing work, you have to move beyond the notion that the body and the chakras need to be fixed. Okay? As soon as you stop doing that, you realize, it's an inside job. It's how I align myself with something deeper within me. So right now, medicine is basically run by the pharmaceutical companies. They are the big players in every element of healing work, and they're it's not good business for them, for us all to be healthy. That's the sad part of that. But even in that industry, they can't avoid this truth even. They would love to completely pretend that what I'm saying doesn't exist at all, that these levels of the life purpose level that the martial artist trained and could literally heal themselves, change their body temperature, be conscious of everything that happens, all the systems in their body, and literally shift their energy, and their whole physical body shifts and changes. So that's that level. And then there's the soul level over here, which is of course the essence of pure radiant power, and it's never been sick. And when someone has a full body cancer, and they finally surrender to one truth within them, which would be their soul truth, all of a sudden the next day the cancer's just gone. And the doctors are like, well, we must have misdiagnosed it. No, you didn't misdiagnose it, but that person had tried to access it only through fixing the problem from a mechanical perspective, which is almost impossible because the brain can't figure out what the problem is, because it's the problem. So, but at these higher levels, it's so clear that the problem is that you've come out of alignment. You've come out of alignment with your true purpose and energy in the world. And so this idea of healing and mastery is something that is the essence of what healing is. You want to find that place within you, that unbendable, non-negotiable spirit within you, that mastery within you, that it's just like, you in one army is going to be telling me that I can't live this, be this, love this person. Okay, so please, as you watch this, make comments on this. I'm happy to feedback. I'll be watching this. I'm happy to do that. Please share this. This is the next. I may be a generation or 5 ahead of my time. I always have been, but just learning more chakra healings is not doing anything. If chakra healing were going to heal the world, we'd already be healed. Like I said, there's 8,000 chakra healing modalities. Now, chakra healing is essential for opening the chakras to access, because what they access are these mastery levels. So it's not that you can't get them, but you have to focus on what's real. Opening the chakra is not healing. Opening the chakra allows your intuition, your awareness, your consciousness, your body to access these higher frequencies, these higher vibrations that are the healing. Healing happens with the frequency of energy that's the creative force that literally holds stars together, holds your body together. Why does my arm not fall off right now? Okay, because I have a gravity inside of me, a reason for being here. And that reason for being here is not here to be sick. And actually, some people, they do come into the world and they have to live through an illness, but that's something that it's like that's why they're here. But for most of us, illness only comes in 2 forms. It comes in to either wake you up to this higher level of healing, which you then have to heal. No one has ever healed you. If you give the doctor credit for healing you, or the healer credit for healing you, you are in that hurricane constantly, and you are always in fear of getting sick again. And when you actually meet someone who's healed from something, you're not like, oh, you're recovering whatever. They're like, I don't even think about myself. I don't even remember being sick. They don't remember. They can't access that because their body moved from this, either the body level where you're really fighting with the world, or the chakra level where you're sort of fighting with your emotions, up to these levels where they're literally so much higher vibration that they can't remember how they let their body get to that place that the illness took over, or the relationship problem, or the chronic being late, or procrastinating, or sabotaging, or feeling like a victim, or selling yourself out too cheap. All of these things that we do over and over and over again, those aren't able to be healed in the chakras. They're healed at the level of purpose. They're healed at the level of mastery.